We're in open session, Your Honor.
Thank you. Would prosecutor please proceed?
So, Mr. Witness, you were explaining what happened in front of the house of person number 12. Could you help us, please? You've used the word thermos, and then you used the word jerrycan. What is it that person number 12 was holding?
I refer them as jerrycan, or it was a 5-liter plastic content.
And you said you sniffed it. What made you sniff it?
Because he had told us they had used petrol, so that's why we sniffed it.
Now, the 20 or so Kalenjin youths that were in front of person 12's house, what did they say when you spoke to them about setting fire to his house?
They were rude. They could not even listen to us because some of them, they were telling us we have to leave the land. That is what they couldn't even listen to us.
And please just answer yes or no. Did you recognize any of the Kalenjin youths that were in front of person 12's house?
Yes.
Were they people you had seen before this night that you're talking about?
Yes, they were the people I used to see.
In any event, you were referring to a sound that you heard, and I believe the way you described it was a woo sound. Do you remember telling us that?
Yes.
What happened when you heard this sound?
When I heard that sound, it were two sounds. So the first sound came from the other side, and it is, I can say it was just they were communicating by the Kalenjin whom were we arguing with, because some of them and others who were a bit higher responded saying, "Oh." So when they responded that way, we decided to go to the other side, to the house that has been set ablaze. It belongs to a woman.
Okay, we'll come to the other house in a minute, but you said those that were responding were a bit higher. What do you mean when you say that?
I mean, the number was greater than the first number, because the sound, the whole sound was a big sound.
And then you have just said that you decided to go to the other side, to the house that has been set ablaze. Is this another house that had been set ablaze?
Yes.
And just answer yes or no for the time being. Did you know the owner of this second house that had been set ablaze?
Yes, I knew.
You said it's a woman. Perhaps with the benefit of the form in front of you, is that woman's name on the list in front of you?
Yes, it's there. It's number 11.
And do you know what ethnic group number 11 belongs to?
Yes, he was a Kikuyu.
And in any event, did you get to the house of number 11? Did you arrive there?
Yes, I went there.
Did you go there alone? Or with somebody else? Or with others?
I went with the others who had come to number 12. So we were in a group. We went in a group.
Approximately how many were you in this group?
I think we were around 8 or 10.
And what did you observe when you arrived at the house of number 11?
So when we got there, it was a very big number of Kalenjin youth, and so we could not see clearly, but because of the flame of the fire, you could see they were carrying bows and arrows. So I met our neighbors who were Kikuyu, and now something like war started there because the Kalenjin could not listen to what we tried to argue with them.
Okay, I'll take you back a bit. Firstly, how did you know that the youths there were Kalenjin?
They were familiar. They were people whom we used. They were familiar. Then they were neighbors. They are the people we lived together.
And just answer only yes or no to this next question. Would you know the names of any of these people?
Yes, I can remember. I remember the names.
Okay, pause.
Pause. I don't know if we were going to do the same thing and realize we paused at the same time. It's from Mofade, but I believe line 22, the word towards the line that says who should be we. That's what I heard the witness say. But you can clarify it if you need to. I thought I heard him say they're the people we lived together.
Your Honours, that's what I heard as well. I don't know if the Mr. Witness, when you say they were familiar, these were people who were familiar. Generally, they were neighbors. What did you say after that? You said
I thought I also heard him say they were our neighbors, and they were people we lived together. But let him.
Mr. Witness, perhaps it's more convenient. Could you repeat your answer to that? My question was, okay, I'll take you back a bit. Firstly, how do you know that the youths were Kalenjin? What's your response?
My response was, they are the people who were familiar and the people who I had known for a long period. So in this location, location 2, we lived together. We had no that crunch or any conflict between we and them.
And you say there was like a war, there was arguing. Firstly, what was your group saying to the group of Kalenjin youths?
When I got there, I already got as a group, bigger group of people from Kikuyu. And when we joined, they were arguing. I tried to argue with them, but I think it came to a point of they couldn't argue no more. So, in order to stop the Kalenjin from burning more houses, so we all, me including the other people who were there, we decided at least to confront them, to attack them, to make them know to burn any more houses.
But for the time being, I would just like you to explain what was said by the Kikuyu group, and if you remember, what was said also by the group of Kalenjins. Do you remember any of the talking that took place?
I remember the Kalenjin youth were telling